Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the most important NYCFC talk show. It's time for the Dudes in Blue, episode number 149. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm your host, Joe Amato, and alongside me, as always,
Antonino. Dude, what's up?
What's happening?
Nothing, man. We finally have a different tune to this show.
We do. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna definitely dive into the game against DC United. NYCFC picking up their first win for sure. That's gonna be a pretty exciting end to the week. A nice little Easter basket that we were delivered of 3 points. That was nice on the road. We're gonna obviously cover that in the New York Groove, and then give you our dude of the week. We'll figure out who the heck that was. Then in the far post, we're going to talk about MLS a little bit, some rumors surrounding a certain manager in the league, coming into the league, maybe not, who knows. We've got some rapid-fire Q&A, another giveaway. It's just, dude, 149 episodes. Can I just say, we are almost at 150.
Yeah, I mean, was it last year we hit 100?
Probably.
Yeah, last year we hit 100. Yeah. Listen, if you would have told us that, we would be doing what we're doing now, 150 episodes in, back when we started, I'd be like, oh, maybe. But this has been a lot of fun, and I'm excited to keep this thing rolling, man.
149 episodes. Anyway, guys, give us the follow. Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We're at Dudes in Blue. That's the best way to get a hold of us. Thanks for joining in on the broadcast. If you're watching on Facebook, and especially if you're listening on the pod, thank you so much. Dude, let's do a little bit of roll call. Announce the winner of our last week's giveaway, and then we'll get into the meat and potatoes of the show. Sound good?
You got it.
All right. Jamal is checking in. Dave is saying, we did it. Steven Berg saying, dude's first win. Felix saying, you're. Christian Smith, we won a game. You can pinch me at any time, dudes. Lalo saying, hola. Ronald saying, we won. Andres, as always, with his favoritos, Caballeros en Azul. John Levin. Crystal saying hello. Eric saying, what's going on? Oh, Crystal is actually Watagata Petersbury is finally in the live show.
Wow.
Whoa, look
finally.
At this. We can finally put a different profile to the Instagram questions. That's awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. Dude, let's really quick. Let's announce the winner of last week's giveaway, or technically this week's giveaway, and let's get things. What did this person win?
This person won this lovely 8x10 autographed David Villa action shot, and probably one of my favorite pictures ever.
That is beautiful.
Glorious. It's glorious. So who won it, dude?
So the winner of the beautiful David Villa autographed 8x10 is Roger PTR on Facebook. Roger, congratulations, buddy. He was part of the broadcast last week, actually. I don't know if he's in here now, but if you're here, let us know that you're here. And if you're not, if you're listening on the pod, shoot us a DM and claim your prize. Dude, that's freaking amazing. That's like an amazing prize.
Listen, we got some good stuff. We got some good stuff this year.
We got more later in the show to give away as well.
Yeah.
So, Roger, congratulations. Thanks so much, everybody, for joining in. But, dude, let's finally kick this show off with the New York Groove.
Let's do it.
The New York Groove. The Parley curse has been broken. We won.
It's amazing. It took a really disastrous start to the season to get these shirts to finally work their magic.
Oh my God! Look, it's been a long time coming. You kind of felt like after last week in Minnesota, after that result, the team was getting a little bit of their confidence back, and you kind of saw that kind of come to fruition last night against DC down at Audi Field. Difficult place to play. The weather looked beautiful. Difficult place to play. Difficult team to play against. And they dominated, as David says in the Facebook comments.
Yeah, it was a top to bottom really solid game. Didn't give up too many egregious chances for the most part. Offense looked to be clicking. Everyone kind of, knew their role. And, I think part of it comes down to the tactics not really changing too much. You still saw that 5 or 3 in the back combination. And you kind of built off of the tempo that you had, the momentum that you had from last game. So that was a big question for us, I think. I think we were all wondering, okay, is this the glimpses that we're seeing in the Minnesota game, are these going to be added to moving forward, or are we going to take a step backwards and try something different? And luckily for us, we kind of stuck with the same game plan, and it ended up turning out to be the right decision.
But it's not that he's necessarily just stuck with the same game plan. He stuck with the same game plan, but with different players.
Yeah.
And I think that was the magic there, right? Because you got to remember, we had no Tajiri Shradi and no Tati Castellanos. Both of our goal scorers from Minnesota were absent this game, not even in the 18. So right off the bat, you're losing, your creators from last week, and you're trying to play with the same system now. Swapping out Collins for Tony Rocha because Collins was back. Thank God. And we tried to play that 3/5 in the back, and this time it paid off. And dude, I mean, we should probably start with that because that really was fantastic. I mean, James Sands. Absolutely unbelievable. A solid center back.
Let me read off. I pull up some stats here that I actually snapped a picture of because I saw a tweet about it. And just James Sands here. Let's look at 90 minutes. Part of the clean sheet, 6 clearances, 6 out of 7 duels won, 3 out of 4 tackles won, and 2 interceptions. I mean, this kid's versatile.
Real deal.
And not only is he versatile, he's growing before our eyes. Not only physically, but mentally as well. I say this kid is earning his minutes big time, and I think this kid's a staple in the lineup. And just moving forward, I think when you're playing him at center back, you afford the other defensive players a little bit more freedom just because he's got the speed and he's got the athleticism to be able to cover when those guys go in for challenges, maybe miss one or two or get caught off guard a little bit. And we saw a lot of that in Minnesota where he was tracking down guys and winning balls. So, I mean, for him, this is huge. For a homegrown player to be playing this well it's outstanding, and I think this guy is going to be the next Alex Ring / Maxime Chanel for sure. And I think it's regardless of where you really want to play him. I think he's got the ability, and I think this formation kind of unlocks his ability to be able to do a little bit of both. And his skills, his skill set lends itself to being center back and a CDM. So good for him. I want to see more out of him moving forward. And I think it's just a really great story for this season so far.
The thing that amazes me the most about him is how calm he is on the ball. And I think the commentators were even talking about it. Like, I said this even when I saw him in preseason, what was it, like 2 years ago? Like, this kid looks like he's been playing around these players for years. Yeah. He looks like a 27, 28-year-old player who's been playing for 10 years in the pros. And, like, his composure is just fantastic. Like, nothing shakes him. Like, it's amazing. For 18 years old, it's absolutely unbelievable.
I think Tinnerholm had post-match comments that said he's looked like he's been playing in the top league in Europe for the last 10 years. And I'm 100% behind that. He really looks that good. He looks that comfortable. And when you're that comfortable playing, you're playing in your own shoes. You're not trying to do things that, you're playing to the best of your abilities. You really can't ask for much more.
No, not at all. I mean, again, defense totally solid. Picking up the clean sheet, which is great. Sean Johnson made a great save. Was that off of a set piece? I can't remember what that was. It was like it was a dangerous ball to the back post where Sean Johnson just made himself big, made a great save. Overall, defensively fantastic. You had Matarrita and Tinnerholm playing as kind of like left and right wing backs. They could get forward, they could get back. And I'm telling you, dude, Matarrita I thought had a really good game. Anton Tinnerholm had an equally incredible game.
Yeah, and I think the formation kind of lends itself to their strengths because both of them are very good moving forward up the field, and both of them are pretty solid defensively. So I think with this formation, it allows you the flexibility to shape shift and make adjustments, whereas sometimes other players kind of are locked into spaces where you can't really give them the freedom to roam or move and swap positions. So you could play five in the back. You could end up playing four in the back and putting Sands in the midfield and playing with more attackers. You could do a lot with these guys, and you're right. They both had really really good games. And I think the main thing now is I think this could be something that is the identity you build on. You have a five-man backfield where two of your guys can push up and overlap and be offensive weapons majority of the game and cause a lot of havoc. I think our biggest thing now moving forward is you kind of want to see this kind of be stuck with and move forward because I think this formation and this style of play gives everyone a chance to do what they're best at and unlock their best attributes.
Yeah, speaking of what guys do best, Heber picked up an assist and a goal in his first start. Only played how long did he play, dude? He played
between 60 and 70.
63 minutes. So that's pretty solid for him, dude. The Matritza's goal was meh. It was.
Listen, at this point, you don't
nice
care
little
how
build-up play, but I don't really care how it went in. I guess as long as it went in.
I think Heber's hold-up play on that is what this team has been missing because Matritza tries to do that, and then he tries to do a little too much at times. But also, there was no one ever there for him to hold up the ball for. No one really had that nose for the goal. And now that you've got that you have Heber and Matritza now I think if Matritza can play that same style of hold-up play at times, I think he'll have Heber open to finish chances and vice versa. The only problem I kind of see with that is that both guys favor the same side of the field, and I think if other teams decide to overload that spot and throw three defenders that way, it could cause issues. But then all of a sudden, I mean, whoever's playing on the other side of the field has to step up. And, you have guys like Lewis who can do it and Tajuri. I'm really excited to see what happens when you have Schradi, Heber, and Matritza up top with a center attacking mid in Maxi and just letting those guys run rampant over whoever they're playing that particular night because I think those four guys together are as good as anybody in the league when they're on.
Yeah, I don't want to be like Debbie Downer here, but like in the beginning of the game, I was kind of hating on Heber for a little bit because he had the one-on-one chance against Hamid where he tried to chip him and get fancy, and then even in the second half there was an opportunity where he tried to shoot very fancy with the outside of the foot that didn't come off right. I felt like he was trying to be a little too fancy, but then that chance that came that. The pass was beautiful by Ronald Matarrita, a looping ball over the back to the back post, and Heber just smacks it on a half volley and buries it. And it was just like, all right, you just undid all that crap that you tried to do by putting one in the net.
Yeah. It's just about at this point for him not being 100% match fit minutes wise. I think being able to get those chances under your belt and then actually converting on one is going to be huge for him. That one, like outside of the foot pass, cross, or shot in the middle of the box that hit defender square in the face, that was it looked good from the beginning. But again, in the chip, listen, you do what you've done for your entire life trying to do something like that, and most of the time, Hamid's a formidable keeper, so. It happens. But the other shot, it just took everyone by surprise. The quick turnaround, I think, is what you got to talk about right there with Matarrita. Just almost no look.
Almost not looking,
he
right.
had two players on that side. And to have that vision, that's what I always talk about. That's always that 2 steps ahead with knowing that, okay, if I have an opportunity to get this ball, this is what I'm going to do. And I think that we didn't see that a lot from a lot of our players the first, 5 or 6 games, where you see guys winding up to make a pass and all of a sudden stopping and changing their mind and trying to do something else. That was really 1-2, and it ended up paying off big time. And that's what guys with goal scoring noses. Why are you talking about noses today? I don't understand.
Furcus, dude. Furcus.
Furcus. I have to get the Furcus. Yeah, it's just nutmeg goal. Wonderful.
Yeah, just fantastic. Again, I
true to wickets.
And it's funny. Christian Smith is bringing up a question that I was going to ask everybody. Christian Smith asks, why is Maxey taking penalties? Now, you got to feel bad for Maxey. You got to feel bad for Maxey hitting the post 2 times. But I'm sorry. Like, if it's me, you give the PK to Matriza or Heber.
Yeah. In that instance, I'm pretty much handing it off to Heber just to be able to get the first one, out of the way and kind of loosen the cobwebs and get that confidence going. But I think it's safe to say we saw the FIFA 19 version of Maxey out there.
Oh, my God.
Someone was controlling him with an Xbox controller because he just couldn't buy one yesterday. But again, it's nice to be able to see the fact that he can fill in on the wing at times, not always, but he could be that guy that's giving service to not 1 now, but 2 players, possibly 3, depending on who's playing on the opposite side of the field, into the box and create goal-scoring chances. So, again, this is something that needs to be built on. But I agree with you 100%. I think penalties should be taken by not PKs, post game, but PKs during the game. I think you got to give it to the striker, just because. I mean, you should just give it to them, especially because we haven't had one for so long.
Yeah.
Now you have one and you don't even use them. It's kind of a little brain fart there, but.
Yeah. No, look,
he'll put those in anyway. He'll put those in more of the time. It's amazing though. He got Hamid to bite really early too on that.
Yeah.
And he had the just all net to shoot at. But listen, it happens. It happens to the worst and the best of us. So.
Yes, it definitely does. Well, look, I mean, the positives are clear, right? Picking up a clean sheet on the road, picking up 3 points on the road, the first win of the season. Hopefully that kind of opens the floodgates. Our goal scorers scored goals, which is what you want to see. That's what you're paying these guys for. So a lot of positives to take away from this performance. Now, my main concern is are people changing their minds based on one performance about our coaching staff and the way that we all felt for the past 8 weeks? So that's my concern. I love the fact that we picked up this result. This was massive. It was a great game. NYCFC dominated, but now, like you mentioned, we got to really build on it because you don't want to take this win and where now you got another 2 matches this week, both at home. You have 2 big opportunities against Chicago and against Orlando. 2 games that should be winnable, especially at home. You don't want to drop these points because then you put yourself right back where you were a week and a half ago. So yeah. I'm not off of the Domè out train. I'm still on that train until I'm proven otherwise. And one game's not going to do it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's still, take it for what it is. It's still 5 wins out of 22.
That's right.
23.
You can't look at the last 2 games. You got to look at the last 23.
No, the same way you don't want to pay a player for past performances when they're currently stinking it up. It's the same thing. I think my biggest concern is that you build and you win the next 2 games, and then all of a sudden you try to change things once. Because Liz, I mean, to preface that, my thought over the weekend, Glenn Crooks had Domè on pre-game, as he always does. And it was the first time Domè admitted that, listen, as a head coach, I'm in trouble.
Right.
And he understood that. And I think it kind of gave some validity to the story last week where you had CFG sporting director for the satellite clubs coming to these matches. So, you kind of put your best foot. Yeah, exactly. So that being said, I think the worst thing that could happen is that they win these next 2 games. that, the guy, and his name is
I know, the
escaping
Man
me.
City exec goes home, and everything goes
home,
back to normal.
and exactly, and he's like, oh, they're fine, he's doing fine, it's okay. That's what you don't want to happen. I think now is and we said it before, this is the best time right now to build character, build an identity, and stick with something that's working right now. And I think with these current tactics, if you can build up and get super strong at this, then you don't really have to worry so much about trying to adjust your game in such a wide variety based on your opponent, because it felt like that's what we were doing the first 5 or 6 games. You were throwing out different things constantly based on who was coming in, rather than trying to build build yourself up to be that strong powerhouse doing something. And that's where Patrick Vieira excelled. He had the team doing exactly what he wanted them to do. They were playing to a high level, and week in and week out, they didn't change.
You knew what to expect, and that's what you got every single week.
And you know what? You then put the onus on the visiting team or the opposition, the opposing team, to then either adjust their tactics and not play as well because they don't do those things.
Yeah.
Or
if I'm not mistaken,
head-to-head.
But if I'm not mistaken, we won more games than we lost or tied under that kind of style.
For sure. And the only problem right there is that I think he was failing to make small adjustments where you're going head-to-head with a team equally as strong as you in their tactics versus your tactics. And then it just becomes a chess match where certain pieces beat other pieces, and it's fun. And that for us was the Red Bull games. The Red Bull knew how to beat their best formation that they always threw out, was able to beat our best formation, and that's where you need to adjust. From doing it week to week is difficult, and I think it causes too much inconsistency, and guys don't know their roles because their roles just keep constantly changing, and it's hard to progress and grow when you're being pulled in 6 different directions. So now is the time for me. If I was a coach, I see this has worked the last 2 games. I'm going to play the next 3 games this way.
Right.
And if we win 2 and lose 1, or if we win 1 and tie 1, and then we're still building and seeing good things, I'm sticking with it. And I'm growing this system, because if this works and we become very good at it, all it's going to do is make other teams have to either change what they do
to play us. Right, exactly.
And not be good at it and be possibly, make mistakes. Or they're going to say, you play that way, we play really well our way, let's see who's the better team. And those are the games you really don't mind losing so much, because you're getting
just beat by a better team.
You're not throwing games away like we were at the beginning of this year so far.
Right. Yeah, I mean, look, when you talk about Patrick Vieira playing, he played out of the back, he played a possession-style game. The way to beat that, high press, high press, high press. That's exactly how the Red Bulls beat us. The problem with Patrick Vieira was he didn't really know how to adjust that. He didn't know how to switch the point of attack very quickly, and that's something that Domè unfortunately brought in, actually, and then decided to change everything around, because we learned how to beat that press last year. But then started tinkering and then started changing things too much. He went the opposite end of the spectrum and started changing things match to match, and you never know what 11 you're going to get, barring any kind of injury or whatever it might be. But now, like you said, this is the time to build on this. I like this formation, especially, dude, Collins, Sands, Chanot, fantastic back line. If you can stop conceding goals, that's more than half of the battle, I think. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Absolutely. And you're again, look how there weren't very many outstanding goal scoring opportunities from the point.
No, not at all.
And that's huge. That's huge, because you take the stress off of the goalkeeper of having to make huge saves, or being the last line of defense. If you can eliminate those high percentage scoring opportunities, you're going to win more games than not. I don't remember yesterday at all.
DC only had 3 shots on target all game. Now, if that was us, I would be bitching like crazy.
Yeah.
If we only put 3 shots on target like we did a few weeks ago.
Absolutely. That's why we say this game was very dominating in that fact, because, listen, you're playing a team that's top of the league right now, top of the Eastern Conference standings, and they could not get anything going, nothing whatsoever. And that says something. And I think that again, like we keep going back to it, but this is the point in time where we kind of have to gather ourselves and say, we did this to these guys, we could do it to everyone else.
Can I just say that DC United, though, a little bit deceiving. A little bit deceiving because, yes, they're at the top of the Eastern Conference, but they've played 2 more games than Toronto, who is just a point behind them. So they're not in as good of a position as they appear to be right now. Mm-hmm. We'll see what happens when Toronto makes up those extra couple of games, because that's that could change. That could dump 5 points ahead. They could dump 5 points ahead of DC with 2 games. So it's a little bit deceiving. But again, take from it what you will. But the positive is you go to Audi Field, you come away with a result, you come away with a win, you come away with a clean sheet, and our most dominating performance this season. You can't really say last week against Minnesota was dominating because we let in 3 goals. We were dominating from back to front this game, and it was a complete performance. That's what I'm kind of getting at.
Yes,
this was the first complete performance that this team has put together. Now, if Wednesday night, I imagine some players are going to be swapped out, to rest and things like that. Sure. But if you don't keep this same game plan, then we got to start questioning again, because don't screw with what works.
Yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And I think this
it's still early though. It's still early. Sure. This is 2. This is 1 result out of 23 that we can honestly say we completely kicked ass.
Yeah, absolutely. But again, if you can build on this, it's fantastic. And if this proves not to work moving forward and only works against certain teams, so be it. But you owe it to everyone and yourselves to at least try to build it, because it could be fantastic. And I think the way that these tactics kind of play out, it's really favorable for our squad, because we have a lot of depth at the positions that are useful with these tactics. With the wingbacks and the midfielders, you have people do that. I think the only issue I really have is that I think you need a little more depth with a goal scorer. I think look, when like this midweek game, if you've got Izzy out and Matriza out,
where do you go?
Heber can't go for more than 45 minutes. Who do you really call on at this point? We know Jonathan Lewis hasn't really been the answer, and I thought he looked okay, as a sub. He made a couple of good runs and good chances, and I think with a couple more minutes he might have been able to do something. But again, I think this is something that needs to be addressed in the summer window, and I think you need to get at least 2 or 3 more pieces that can fit into our puzzle the right way.
Yep, we just got to build. Just got to build. This is the opportunity. You got an opportunity where you got 2 games coming in where you've got opportunities to pick up results at home against teams that you should be able to beat, and now we just got to capitalize. Donald on Facebook says, "Mega Mind." Yes,
He really is.
Dude, Heber, he looks just like him. He looks just like him.
He really does. It's just, and you feel bad. You don't want to pick on the guy, but when you look that much like,
dude, come on though. Like, I'm not making fun of him. Awesome. Like, dude, we call Tommy McNamara Tubby Messi. Megamind is not that bad. Megamind is not that bad when you really think about it.
It's fantastic.
All right, dude. Let's keep this show rolling here, because we spend quite a bit of time on this game. Let's move on to Dude of the Week. Dude of the Week. All right, guys, start putting those comments in. Who do you think should get the Dude of the Week? Who went above and beyond the Call of Duty this week? And dude, I gave the nod to James Sands last week.
Uh-huh.
Right? I might throw his hat in the ring one more time. I know you could give it to Heber for picking up the assist and for scoring his first goal. That's the easy one. But, dude, that's what you expect the guy to do.
Yeah, well, again, we expect it based on highlight reels, because we haven't really seen the guy play in our system and what he can do. And for the most part,
but just what you're bringing him in for.
Right, exactly. So, but again, I think James Sands now, he's kind of set his bar on the higher side, and when you're playing so well that it becomes the norm, it's fantastic. But it's going to be hard
to do to the week.
Doesn't get you tune of the week. And this is a tough one because it's really like we said, it's really a full team performance that gets the win like this. Everybody kind of contributed in some sort of way. Callens had a couple big stops. Chanel had a couple of big clearances. Sands, like we said, we had I read the stats off that he played well. You had Mata with the assist. That was fantastic. You had Heber with his hold-up play. Matriza with a goal. Johnson with a big save. I mean, listen, when you can say all those things.
The post made a couple saves.
Made a couple of saves. So this is a really tough one, and I'm curious to know what everyone else is thinking. What are we feeling?
Dude, honestly, like it's a pretty big competition here between Sands and Heber. But Dave on Facebook says, "Don't overthink it, Heber." I think just look, first start, picks up a goal, picks up an assist. And
he's going to get his first dude of the week.
Congratulations, Heber. You get it for 149. That's it, man. I mean, look, like you said, we could have given it to a couple players. We could have given it to Mata for that absolutely sexy assist that he had. We could have given it to Sands for his absolutely outstanding defensive performance. But again, we are giving it to who the hell are we giving it to? Heber.
Heber.
That's who we're
Give it
giving
to Heber.
I'm tired. All right, dude. Let's move on to the far post. The far post. All right, guys. It's time for the far post. We're gonna just go real quickly over MLS and then maybe get back to a little bit more NYCFC. Dude, Wednesday the 17th, Vancouver dealt LAFC a 1-0 defeat. That was interessante. But LAFC definitely made up for it this weekend.
Yeah, they pissed off Carlos Vela.
We'll get to that because that was the last game of the weekend. RSL beat FC Cincinnati 3-0. Now, here's just a quick thing about that game. If you guys didn't watch any of the go watch the highlights of RSL versus FC Cincinnati. Rusnak, who scored a goal for RSL, moments before he scores a goal, completely dislocated his finger. Like it was bent the wrong, like you saw it. He was like, it was horrible. It was absolutely. Go watch it if your stomach can handle it.
No,
but the dude came back with his fingers bandaged and scored a freaking goal like 2 minutes later.
It's a good thing. Good thing they're not playing basketball.
Like that is absolutely unbelievable. Toronto FC 4-3 over Minnesota. Now. Alejandro Pozuelo, I should say. I'm used to say Alexandru Mitrița. Alejandro Pozuelo picked up 2 goals. He now leads the league in assists with 5. Dude, Pozuelo is trouble. We learned that against ourselves.
We learned it the hard way.
But Pozuelo's real deal, man. He's real deal.
Yeah, and those 2 goals, they came within 110 seconds of each other?
I think they were like literally seconds.
I mean, listen, here's the biggest takeaway I see from this, and it angers me a little bit to see players playing that way, like Carlos Vela and Pozuelo. Why on earth did we waste money on Jesus Medina?
Dude,
a DP player should be this caliber doing what these 2 guys are doing.
Game changer.
I'm sorry, it's just that spot is not meant for a project that honestly was Patrick Vieira's baby, and it's not going to work out here.
I'm going to call his baby ugly.
Again, you just love calling ugly.
I love calling babies ugly.
Ugly baby. No, for real though, it's when you see the attack that Pozuelo brings in, and he's running at guys and making guys turn and twist the wrong way, and then you got Medina who sleeps through 15, 20 minutes of games at a time and just stands there statuesque. It aggravates me so much that this team swung and missed so bad on this slot. It's so aggravating.
Yeah, because it's not like the talent is not out there and available. We're seeing guys around the league succeed.
You see it everywhere. These are not, and Pozuelo's not a super. He's not Zlatan. He's not Wayne Rooney. And those guys, you kind of expect it, but these guys are. They're not. I don't want to say diamonds in the rough, but these are guys that can be found everywhere. They can be found all over the place, and I just think the due diligence that needs to be done this summer is humongous when it comes
big
to
opportunity.
this
Big opportunity to make some changes there for sure.
Yeah.
Dude, plowing ahead here. Galaxy on Friday, 2-1 over Houston. Houston's no longer unbeaten, but Zlatan picked up another damn goal. But it's a penalty. So you see score. I think like half of his goals have come off of penalties.
I don't think he really cares.
As long as it goes in the net. Moving on to Saturday, Chicago. Now, Chicago beat Colorado, so it's not that big of a feat, but they beat Colorado 4-1. Now, Colorado is now the only remaining MLS team without a win in 2019. Thank God we got off of that list, because it was just the shorter that list got, the more upset I was getting.
Sure, absolutely.
Philly beat Montreal 3-0. FC Dallas 2-1 over Atlanta. Atlanta still struggling. I think in that game they showed a good performance, but again, when your coach is preaching patience to a team that just won the damn MLS Cup, it's not going to work. It's not going to work.
Yeah, and I think the biggest issue there is that front office made a hire, and I don't think they fully understood I don't think the coach and the team, I don't think their visions lined up the right way. Again, if you want to break down the team and do a complete rebuild and start from scratch, that's fine. But you're keeping a large core of that team intact. And again, why would you want to fix something that's not broken? Their best bet was to bring in someone who plays similar to Tata Martino, who can get the best out of these guys doing what they were doing last year. And instead, you got a guy that wants to be an etch-a-sketch with the team and shake things up and just erase everything from last season. And this is a fickle league. This is a league where, again, look at Toronto. They went from top to bottom and back to top within 3 seasons. It's so volatile that consistency is so big in so many parts of this game here. But you kind of feel for them because we were kind of in the same boat. But listen, isn't it nice to not have to worry about them right now?
Oh my gosh, yeah, but again, at the same time, we can go there or they can come here and they could spank us on the day or we could spank them on the day. Like there's no.
That's the way it goes.
It's very difficult to predict. Speaking of very difficult to predict, San Jose Earthquakes 4-1 over Sporting Kansas City.
Did not see that one coming.
No. San Jose Earthquakes have more wins than we do this year.
Well, that's sad.
We gotta fix that. And then finally, dude, again, another 4-1 result. LAFC 4-1 over the Seattle Sounders. Dude, LAFC planted their stake. They planted their flag right into the Western Conference, and they were like, this is ours. We're taking it for now, and Carlos Vela's face is flying on the flag.
I tell you what, man, as I think this season and every season so far that we've been watching this league, I've been becoming more and more of a fan. I mean, this is my rooting interest and this is my team, but every week there are just great matches to watch.
Oh my God.
And just be in awe of these guys. Like, these guys are
just
fantastic.
Score goals.
They are playing so well at the top of their game, and it is so fun to watch. And I think this is the second week or second week in the last 3 weeks where you had 40-plus goals.
It's ridiculous.
Through all matches. It is absolutely bananas.
You want that. Just something interesting, dude. In the Golden Boot race, I know it's incredibly early, but 2 out of the top 5 runners for the Golden Boot are in LAFC. Carlos Vela is in the number 1 spot on 10 goals, and Diego Rossi is in the number 3 spot with 6 goals. The only person between them is Zlatan on 7. So it's like
a Los Angeles sandwich right there.
It's the LA sandwich. I'm telling you, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. The goals coming out of these clubs are just absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, it's everyone's firing on all cylinders, and this might be one of the best years for MLS yet because you just got so much talent. I mean, left, right, and center. It's really fun to watch. It really is.
Dude, the only last thing that I want to touch on before we get into Ants Rants, because I can't believe we've blown through 40 minutes already. This is absolutely insane.
Yeah, it's crazy.
The rumors surrounding Thierry Henry signing with the New York Red Bulls has been circulating for the last couple of weeks. And after his spat was with Monaco, right? Where he pretty much bombed.
Yeah,
absolutely, completely, and I think that was really to his fault. I think he was kind of a maniac.
Too many baguettes.
But he's rumored to join the Red Bulls, right? Now, the New York Red Bulls released a statement today. It was the sporting director, Dennis Hamlet, released a statement regarding the reports linking Henry with the club as head coach. Here's what he said. Recent reports of Thierry Henry joining the New York Red Bulls are false. Just put that out there. That does not mean that he's not joining the Red Bull organization. You got to remember, they own RB Leipzig. They own RB Salzburg. They own the New York Red Bulls, and I think another team somewhere else, right?
Sure.
Somewhere? I don't know. They own like a bunch of teams. So this is simply stating...
He's going to be a regional sales manager for Red Bull.
He'll be stocking the shelves at the local Stop and Shop with Red Bull. He's getting a position with Red Bulls.
Yeah.
With Red Bull. We didn't say Red Bulls.
So driving that big wagon around, giving away free Red Bull to everybody.
That's right. He'll just punt them at you. Kaku style. Oh, too soon.
Red Bull to the face.
Anyway, all right. So that's it for the far post, dude. Let's move on to Ants Rants. Let's do this.
Sure.
It's time for Ants Rants. All right, dude. It's time for Ants Rants. What's pissing you off this week?
So this week was a little bit more difficult. It's hard to be upset when you're stuffing your face all yesterday with pizza rustica, pizza gain, sausage, lasagna. So not too angry, but found some things today. Still no word on MLS for disciplinary action taken against Kaku. And they managed to hand out 3 fines or suspensions for players from last week, one of which involved our game where Alex Ringai hands to the face or throat from, I forget who it was because he's not important to me, but people got fined left and right, undisclosed amounts, and you haven't heard anything yet. You're dropping the ball on this one. It's an easy layup. You either fine the guy an exorbitant amount of money or you take away a couple games from him because it's ridiculous. You can't be able to get away with that. Mistake or not, it's a stupid thing to do. It's poor behavior, and it looks bad on the league the longer this kind of drags out. It's not. It's stupid. It's stupid. And speaking of stupid, listen, I am a proponent. I'm not sure if I'm using that word right, but proponent for VAR. I enjoy it. I much rather see the game be called correctly. And I don't mind the game being longer, to be honest with you, because I love watching the game. And if the games were 120 minutes long, I'd be like, hell yeah, I'm down for that. You know, it's a lot of fun. But when VAR gets it wrong or doesn't show angles like in the Champions League, where a goal was clearly scored off of a hand, and really cost. Not that I'm a huge Man City, supporter. I watch a lot of the teams in the Premier League just because it's fun. But you kind of wanted to see. I wanted to see that game, take on new life and be, because it would have been tied. I think at that point, would it have been tied?
Well, that was the third goal. No, that was the goal to put them up.
Right. So if he didn't score that goal, they would have been tied.
No, City would have went through.
Okay. So. Yeah. So that's a big thing, and I think the VAR is implemented for those specific situations. Why are you not getting the most definitive angle? Because that's what's been reported. It's reported that the one angle that showed the play the clearest, and if you didn't see it, look,
it's on Twitter. Just go on Twitter.
Yeah, goes up and it hits him off the hand, and from that minute, it should be a dead ball, and that's it. But they counted the goal, and next season is going to be different because anything that related will be called. But it's just to have it at your disposal and still get it wrong is infuriating, regardless of who is playing. It's just you can't have it, and I don't know why it's that difficult because you've got 6 million cameras around these stadiums. You've got to be able to get the angles to these guys, and if they take an extra 3 minutes to do it, so be it. It's not a big deal. I don't mind waiting if you're getting it right because you can derail an entire team's season that way. And again, Man City's going to be fine. It's okay. They will be back there next season. Almost guaranteed. They're a fantastic club. But when you can't take things. You cannot make a team win or lose outside of the white lines. That's the biggest takeaway from this. I think VAR is fantastic, But when you have these glitches, I think it makes it look so bad that you'll get people that don't want it anymore. They don't even want it at all. But I think next season you'll probably see a little
It's
bit
just
better.
going to be clearer. It's just going to
Yeah.
it's just going to get clearer and clearer and clearer.
And they
Next
will be
year,
showing.
Ball
They'll be
touches
showing
your
the
hand,
replay.
no goal.
Right, and they'll be showing the replays in the stadium, which, don't get me wrong, it's good and it's bad because the fans can actually understand what's going on. Because
Yeah, if you're not watching on TV, right?
Sometimes it's hard to take someone's word for it because you don't get to see it with your own eyes. But now you'll be able to see it, and you hope that it's just, the referee doesn't take into account that 95% of the stadium is booing at him, to make him sway one way or another. But that's a horse of a different color. So, so that's pretty much it. Otherwise, pretty optimistic week, and looking forward to Wednesday and Saturday.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Dude, listen, right before we close things off with the short corner, our little rapid fire Q&A from the Instagram story, we got another giveaway, guys. So don't leave.
Yeah.
Don't leave. What are we giving away this week?
So I got another beautiful 8x10. This one signed by our fan favorite, Mr. Jack Harrison.
Can you move that to your right a little bit?
My bad. There you go.
There we go.
Good, nice.
Yeah, back it up a little bit. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. That's nice. That's beautiful.
Yeah. So again, one from the personal collection. Jack's doing pretty well at Leeds. Leeds, could possibly make it to the Premier League next season, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe they are in third currently.
So yeah, that could be something to watch. And kudos to him for having a decent season. Not getting a whole hell of a lot of playing time, but when he does, he's for a lot of times we've seen him do good things on the field. So. Good for him, and good for whoever's going to win this beautiful 8x10.
Yes, and all you got to do is comment on the live broadcast. So if you're listening on the pod, go to the Facebook Live video. It's pinned to the top of the page for episode number 149. Leave a comment and share it. If you guys are in the broadcast right now and you've already commented on the feed, just share it. Share it, and you'll be entered to win. So that's pretty much it. So if you want to win a signed 8x10 of Jack Harrison, that's what you got to do. Dude, you ready to do the short corner, which is our rapid fire Q&A segment here on Dudes in Blue?
Let's do it.
All right, dude. So as you know, we post our Instagram story every single week, and we ask you to ask us anything. And all we got to do is I'm going to read the question, I'm going to answer, and then Anthony's going to answer really quick with really very little time to think. And I haven't really read these either, so we'll see what the heck happens. All right. Jamal on Instagram. Who should start, Tati or Heber or both, and why? I'd like to see them both up top, and I'd like to see Matrica kind of floating around as that floating number 10 kind of guy, like he's supposed to be.
I think my issue, I agree, but my issue becomes the depth thing, and that if Heber is not fit to play a full game, do you want to have Tati at your disposal to be able to come in off the bench and be able to fill that spot, because he has had two pretty solid performances in a row. So I'm caught in the middle with this one.
All right, fair enough. Grant Newberger on Instagram. What do you think the % chance Domè can hold on to this winning form? I'm going to say 50% at this point. I'm
going to go a little more pessimistic at 40.
I thought you were going to go the other way.
No. Honestly, I'm not 100% sold. I'm 40% sold, I guess.
That's a fair assumption.
Guess that's what it is. It's just
assumption.
I have to see more. I've seen too much negative to let this small positive get me too high.
You can't. Yeah, that's what we talked about. We talked about that earlier. It's like you can't look at just this one game as a whole. You got to look at these last 23 games as a whole, where we've now won 5 out of 23 games. It's still not good. Scotty P14X, Heber looks promising. Thoughts on him so far? I'm just incredibly positive. All positive.
Yeah. I think to be able to see him be a little sloppy at the beginning of the game, and then be able to finish strong,
turn around.
I think that's a huge upside, and I want to see more of him. Especially for more than 60 minutes. I think he could still be that force at the end of the game.
JV Burnout, can we wear this jersey every game? I want this jersey. And if you're watching on the video, if you're not watching on the video in the pod, I've got on the Parley kit. This thing is sharp.
It's again, for some reason with these MLS kits, when you see them hanging up, it doesn't do them justice, because once you put them on and you actually wearing them, they look so good. And I wore mine last week, and I said the same thing. As soon as I saw myself in my video call here, and I'm watching, I'm like, damn, I look good in this. This looks really nice.
Nice kit.
I love the dark. The dark is just, it's such a nice change of pace. It's simple but clean, and I love this color combination.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. The last one here, Eric Seven Martin. Do you dudes prefer Sands at center back or CDM? If we're gonna play with this formation, he needs to stay at center back. If he needs to move forward a little bit more to be in a more distribution type of role, I think he can. But if we're gonna play with this 3/5 in the back, center back all the way for me.
I prefer him wherever it gets us results.
That's fair enough.
Either or, doesn't matter to me.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, guys, that's it. That's pretty much it for episode number 149. We'll be back for episode number 150 on Monday night, 8 p.m.
Wait, were we thinking about doing something?
Oh shoot, Thursday you're talking about, right?
Thursday, yeah.
No, we gotta talk about that because I don't know about that.
Out. Yeah, but
no matter what, we'll be here Monday night.
Yeah. Quick shout out to Third Rail BX for the lovely shirt.
Oh, that's beautiful.
To the Bronx, it's where I want to be. Really awesome quality. And they are friends of the show, and they're constantly sharing our stuff, and so we're sharing their stuff. Really nice. I really like this a lot, actually.
That's pretty
picked
sweet.
it up from our boy Felix today. Felix, I know he's here somewhere. So thank you, my good sir. And if you want something like this, go find them on social media, and they will be able to hook you up.
There you go. Well, guys, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, we're at Dudes in Blue. All you got to do to win that Jack Harrison signed 8x10, dude. Maybe we should pop that up before we wrap things up.
Yeah.
Comment and share the Facebook Live video for episode number 149. That's all you got to do. Oh, Andres is saying, no, Thursday is no good because Avengers is starting. That's true. I don't know if I'm going to go Thursday, man, but...
You know what? If I was Thanos right now...
He just snapped his finger. We just lost half of our audience, man. What the hell are you doing? Unbelievable. Oh, and Amanda is saying here, I would like to announce my retirement from away games since the team won the first game that I didn't go to. Amanda, thank you. I think we can personally thank you from the bottom of our hearts that we won this. We won this game because of you. Thank you so much.
And now stop. Leave on a high note.
That's it. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. It's definitely Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, at Dudes in Blue. It's been episode 149. You guys are awesome. Until next time, stay blue.